Hi there, it's Sandra with Brew City Thrifts. Today, it's a Saturday morning, and I usually don't go out on a Saturday morning because it's usually too crowded for me at the Goodwills on a Saturday morning. But this morning, I decided I was going to venture out to the Goodwill of Brown Deer, which has not been super lucky for me lately, but hey, you never know. That's what makes it so much fun. Who knows what I'm going to find? So let's hit it. So I had pulled some items off of carts walking by just as I walked in. And the first one was this, I thought it was salt glazed, but it's not. It's a stoneware wine cooler made by Robinson Ransbottom. It's got the label on the bottom, no date, but it is a nice piece of stoneware and probably vintage. So that went in my cart. And then this picture. This picture is by an artist named Jules Joseph Lefevre. Did I know that at the time? No, I don't. I had to look that up. But I did recognize that. It's a very famous picture. I recognized it. It is definitely old, and for $2.99, I thought that is such a nice print. I'm going to take that and put it in my cart. In the toy aisle, my go-tos are handmade wooden toys and unopened puzzles, which I rarely find. But on this trip, I found not just one, but two. The first one is this Cobble Hill 1,000-piece puzzle. It's not the most pricey kind of puzzle. It's not a Ravensburger, but it's still a good one. And I popped that in my cart for $3.99. I took a look at this puzzle, which I thought was a really nice design and a nice box, but you'd have to count all the pieces, which I didn't want to do. That's why I really prefer to pick up puzzles that are completely unopened. And here is another one. This is a Madeline Floyd bird song puzzle, 1,000-piece again, and both of those were happy finds. I noticed this boxed item and pulling it out, reading the lid. It is a blade block and bowl set. So it's a kitchen cutting board basically. And I thought the design was really cool. I like the wood and it's got the box with it. I thought with some mineral oil, the block is going to really end up looking really beautiful and bring out that wood grain. And for that price, it's so useful and beautiful, I decided I was going to take it. Still in the kitchen area, I noticed this anodized metal carrier. And I really like that. I thought it was just could be put to a lot of different purposes. I was especially thinking a picnic with utensils, and it's contemporary, but so practical and useful. But it was a little bit misshapen, so I decided to leave it. I noticed some of these brightly colored cloths, and I thought they had some nice patterns. And then I noticed this box, and I could see there was some utensils in it. I pulled it out. The brand name is, I believe it's pronounced Cilio. It is probably Spanish, Italian, Romance language, not sure. And that was clearly a brushed stainless steel set of, it turns out to be cheese knives. I wasn't sure what kind of utensils they were, but cheese knives. And all intact. They looked hardly used. And I thought, that's another pretty good pickup. I think I'll take it. Now, I rarely pick up Rae Dunn anymore, especially the mugs, but I saw this salt and pepper set and it looked complete. They're asking $4.99. I did really like the wooden lids on the top of the ceramic salt holders. I mean, they're not shakers. They're you would dip your salt and your pepper in there. And I just decided I would give it a shot. I think that I can still make some money on them, and I do really, really like the look of them. So picked up some Rae Dunn. I'm in an area that's got a lot of servingware, and actually it's quite a mishmash of items, mostly serving dishes and the like, but just note how precariously stacked everything is here. I had numerous heart attacks in this thrifting trip because of the way they had stacked items. But in this particular area, I took a look at a like, cookie jar, and then I noticed this. I thought it was a really pretty cake server, and I saw it was by Andrea by Sadek. And I think I'm an Andrea by Sadek fan. I just like the design. And I decided I was going to pop that in my cart and look it up later. There's some mixing bowls. And then there's this really pretty vintage or antique gravy boat. And then there's something that I'm trying to pull out, but this is a case where I actually had to put the camera down in order to get it free. It was this little ceramic bowl. It's handmade. It looks like a hobbyist piece. It's got a bit of a splattered glaze. It was nice, but nothing too special, so I did put it back on the shelf. I noticed these soup or vegetable tureens. They had some age. I don't know if they were hand painted or transfer, but they were nice. But then I noticed this gorgeous wooden bowl. I mean, I love the lines on this. It's a simple oval, but it's kind of shallow in the dish, and it's got a very mid-century modern feel, and I think with some mineral oil it's going to look fantastic. So I did put that in my cart. Back at the shelf, just scanning to see if there's something else worth picking up, and I found at the back of the shelf this bowl. It looks like it could be aluminum or perhaps a pewter bowl. It's got the Wilton armatail kind of look to it, and it's a nice size for a nut or candy bowl. And I wasn't able to get the sticker off easily, so I took it with me to check out more later. I'm in tchotchke land, and I noticed this. I hoped it was a crystal box. I think it was just glass. It was pretty, but not anything too amazing. I was interested in these figures. They were dolls made in Thailand, probably souvenir items. And sometimes I can find those interesting. This time I let them be. I did notice this glass paperweight. This is a pie made with material, cloth, and I thought it was kind of probably a dust trap. And then I noticed this funny guy with the very sad and pathetic expression. He looks to be vintage. He's from Japan, hand painted. Oh, look at those puppy dog eyes. He's pretty cute. I was thinking about it, and then I noticed this item. It's probably a hobbyist item. I just like the glaze. I do love green and blue together, green and purple together, and so I took a look at that. This was a sort of a pig-faced dog, maybe, I'm not sure. Garden sculpture. And then that was a ceramic basket. Scanning, and then I see this. This is a glass jar, and I liked it. Was substantial, heavy feel to it. It was I liked the design. I thought for the holidays this would be really cool to fill with candy, and so I popped it in my cart and decided I would think about it. I am scanning some more tchotchkes here, and the first thing that I pick up is this kind of, I think it's a 1980s wooden wall plaque. It's hand painted. It's nice, but I was more interested in this when I pulled it out. It is a signed piece. It's an etched board, but the quality wasn't quite there for me. And then I saw this silly thing, and it looks almost like scrap metal put together to make a pig figurine. It is a little bit wobbly, but it will stand, and I think I can fix that by just weighting the feet. The feet are hollow. And I just thought it was, cute. I like the distressed look. I think he's just got a, it's just fun. So I was in the mood for a metal pig. And then I saw this flask. Flasks do fairly, I seem to move the flasks that I pick up, and I like the design on this one. I think it's because we're a football state, and people like to take those flasks into football games with them and other public spaces. So I picked up that flask, and then I noticed this. It was actually ceramic painted with a metallic silver paint. And then these figurines, these are singing angel boys. And while I typically don't pick up angels, I don't pick up figurines like this very often. They had a stone quality to them. And because I felt like they were stone and definitely they had some age, I decided I would pop them in my cart to think about them for a minute. In this area where there's a lot of wooden plaques, I did notice this little bowl. I thought, I'm always looking for koa wood, but that was most likely a teak, and it was missing the rest of its set. And then I noticed these wall plaques. They were quite heavy, and they were hand painted with lovely little scenes from like a country cottage. They kind of went together. Two of them for sure were part of a matched set, that little cottage and this little girl in the flower field. The artist's name is Nona, Nona, and I think these are sweet little oil paintings, and I thought I'm going to give them a shot. This is a nice representation of some folk art, and I decided I'm taking them with me. I'm going to give them a chance. And then I pull out this bowl set. I love the design. It's got a kind of a boho mid-century feel. I think it's contemporary, but I love the look and I love the wood grain. And I am possibly going to keep it for myself. So it goes right in my cart. I actually do quite well with very blingy frames, and this one caught my eye. It is more glass and sparkly stuff. I usually look for fine quality enamel and rhinestone frames, but that one was close enough, so I popped that in my cart. And then here on the bottom shelf, I noticed this box, and it had Pottery Barn on it. So I was very curious what was inside it, and you can see me struggling to open it. So I had to put the camera down. It turned out to be a serving set with beads on the handles, and they were quite long serving pieces. I just thought it was a nice set. It was all intact. And the brand is Pottery Barn, which is a very good brand. So I was paying up a little bit for it, but I decided I was going to take that with me. Sometimes when you like vintage items, the humblest things can be really good pickups. I noticed this aluminum measuring cup behind here on the shelf, and it's old and it's practical, and it's just one of those things that were thrown away a lot. So you can actually find collectors for this, and I decided I was going to take it. I think I'm starting to lose focus here in the vase aisle a little bit because I pick up this vase and I'm just really liking the kind of hobnail. It's got an organic feel to it. It's got that scalloped rim on it, and I just like this planter. I love the color on it, the kind of earthy tones against the milky white. And so I popped that in my cart, but it was, it's not vintage. It's not anything super special. I just liked it. And then I saw this piece of hand painted pottery. It's a vase, and it looks like it's Italian or perhaps Spanish. And when I pull off that label, I see that it's got some words on it, probably a location name, but I don't recognize it. And so I think, well, I am going to pop it in the cart and think about it a while. It's only 99 cents. It's a nice vase. So it goes into my cart along with that hobnail planter. I noticed this piece because of it had sort of a salt glazed look. I liked the cobalt blue and I did like the design, but it also has a huge crack on it and it wasn't didn't have a potter's mark, so it stayed on the shelf. On this lower shelf, I noticed these two cups together. I'm thinking shot glasses. And this one had kind of a interesting graphics. And I was trying to pull off that tag there to see who made it. And it's a Danish cup. And I have picked up this brand before. Nymolle is the, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it anywhere close to right, but I've sold items made by this company before, and I decided this for just 99 cents, I can't go wrong. I think in my last video I mentioned that I often check animal food bowls because some designer bowls can go for pretty good money. Here we've got some more Ray Dunn. And again, normally I'm not going to pick up Ray Dunn. I usually don't even look at it, but it's the animal bowl thing. And so also because I thought they were cute and if nothing else, make a nice gift to my son for his cat Anton, which is Anton is the best cat in the world and deserves to be spoiled with designer bowls. So anyway, I threw those in my cart. And then I spy behind these glasses, I spy a an ornate frame with the enameling and the rhinestones and baubles that I look for. I think I'm usually able to sell these frames, and I loved this one. I love the gray colors in it, so that went in my cart. Oh boy, it is cart review time. And you can tell I've got a pretty much overflowing cart because I even have a whole ton of baskets that I bought that I just pulled off of the top of all of these items. So here is that vintage print by Lefevre of the girl reading a book, which I think is so pretty. And here is the bobbly blingy frame, most likely made in India. Here is the nice quality enameled and rhinestone and blingy frame that I just love those kinds of frames and I sell them pretty well. Here are the Ray Dunn cat bowls, possibly to be kept. One says purr and the other one says meow. Oh, feed me meow. We've got our unwrapped puzzles, the Madeline Floyd one and the Cobble Hill puzzle, both 1,000 pieces. This is the Danish shot glass / little cup. And here is the hand painted vase. I did not find where it was from. It looks to me like it could be Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, but I put it in this basket because I was deciding. These are the items I decided against. I don't think I showed myself picking this up. That's a little paper mache trinket box. Those two stone angels were actually missing their third partner piece, and so I was decided I would not be taking those. But I did decide to take that aluminum vintage measuring cup, the Andrea by Sadek cake server, which I just think is very pretty. This, I love these little flat condiment bowls, just super, salsa, whatever, but I just love the wood on those. So those are definitely coming with me. This is another item that I don't know. I think I might just keep it for myself. It's it's contemporary. It's probably not worth a whole heck of a lot. Just love the design, so might as well keep it. This, though, is a really lovely bowl, and it's gonna just look so beautiful once I give it a little bit of a treatment with some mineral oil. Then we've got the Rae Dunn salt and pepper set. This is the Robinson Ransbottom wine cooler stoneware piece. And this turned out to be a Target piece, and I think it's nice. It's going to go well next holiday season. It's going to go on a shelf until next fall. Then we've got this wooden block and a chopper in a box, and again, that's another item that's going to really snazz up with a little bit of mineral oil. This is a cheese utensil set. I like those 4 pieces, and the brush stainless steel is nice, so I thought that was a nice pickup. These were the, oops, and there you see me almost dropping them. These are the lovely hand-painted set of, they could be trivets. I mean, they've got the felt on the back, but they also have little hooks for hanging on the wall, and little folk art pieces. Here is that scrap metal piglet. He's a little bit wobbly. My plan is to maybe give him some heavier feet so he stands up a little better. This is the flask. It's got kind of a fun graphic on it. And this grape bowl by the Wilton it's a nice little piece, nice little serving piece. Those are just bags, and there's a bunch of little things that I picked up for myself for the office, and obviously always picking up the candles, so there's a candle for myself. This is the Pottery Barn serving set with the beads on the handles. And then I bought a bunch of baskets for work and personal use. And there you have it.
Well, that was so much fun. That was a really good trip. I'm surprised. I found a lot of really good things. Nothing that was just like, break my heart, so amazing, but a lot of just good, interesting things, some good vintage. That aluminum measuring cup may be, a better pickup than one would think. The Pottery Barn seated bead server set, that's a nice pickup. I like that Target glass Christmas cookie jar or candy jar. I just think that's going to go pretty well for me next holiday season. So glad I came. I guess I should try Saturdays a little bit more often, because this one was a really productive one. So as always, thanks for coming along. Like my channel, subscribe, comment, and come back, because we will do this again. Siblings, thrift on.